1, 2. Is it right here? I guess it's right here. I'm standing with my penis at the slide here of the drawer. Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to the... Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Take one.
Beautiful traveler, superfluous adventurer. Turn the page, it's a new day in our story.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 1 of a project that was inspired, well, by my mom. And I'm down here in the basement working on her urn, and I've been thinking about her. So I figured why not make the first episode about her, because she's sort of at the center of all of this. So let's do that. It's about her Alzheimer's, and it's about a part of her that is alive in me. My mom had a fascination with onomatopoeia, which means that our family had words for things that other families did not have. I'm sure a lot of families do have pet names for things, but I always thought ours were maybe a little extreme. So what I thought I would do is show you some images of things. You tell me what you think they are, and then I'll tell you what they're really called. So here's the first one. Yes, that is a baby pacifier. But in our family, it was called a guya, presumably because that is the sound that a baby makes, to my mother at least, when the baby sucks on it. Guya. Related to that, this is an algae eater on the side of my childhood fish tank. Except to Mom, this was a nun fish, because as it crawled up the glass, it went nun. And so that's what we called it. This right here is a Holiday Inn ice bucket circa 1973, stolen from a Holiday Inn in Mississippi, where my mother had to take my sister and I and our toy poodle and one neighbor, pack us into the station wagon and haul us off to get out of the track of a hurricane that was hitting Slidell. And she had to do it herself because my father's airplane clients forced him to fly their family to safety. So my mom took us up there, and I think my sister and I got sick. And, well, you know, once you puke into an ice bucket, you don't put it back for other people to put ice in. So that made sense. So we ended up with this ice bucket. And in our family, this came to be known as the byuk bucket, because that is the sound you make when you vomit into it, byuk, into the byuk bucket. And that lived beneath our bathroom cabinet for a very long time. Other words in the scatological range: if you had constipation, you had the plink dews, or the bunny balls. And if you had constipation with gas behind it that forced it out, you had the plinks. I don't know how you spell that, but plinks. Then, if you had diarrhea, you had the goosey poots. And if you had bad diarrhea, you had, of course, the Hershey squirts, which I don't think is original to our family. Let's try this one. This is the one that ultimately led to my realizing that maybe we weren't the same as other families. So this is a pubic hair on the seat of a toilet. Yeah, that's mine. I had to have a picture. Anyway, so it's a pubic hair. Now, I entered puberty a few months behind my best friend in Lafayette, Louisiana. His name was Keith Melky. My mom called him Melky, because of course she did. So one day he left a pubic hair on the toilet, and my mom came and said, "Melky, don't leave your Weew-weews on the toilet seat." And he looked at her and said, "What? Your hairs." She did do a little corkscrew thing with her finger. "Your Weew-weews." And off she went. And Keith looked at me, and I said, "Y'all don't call them that, do you?" And he said, "No, man, they're pubic hairs." And so at that moment, my world cracked open, and I started to wonder if maybe my mom's relatives' names were really Bot, Boo Boo, and Grandma Uni. They weren't. Anyway, so that was my mom. She loved making up pet names for things. So that was a lot of fun when I was a kid. Once I realized what it was, my mom loved doing this. It didn't hurt anybody. But what happened was, as she advanced in her Alzheimer's and began to forget the names of things, she had ready substitutes. she could run to her made-up words and fill in the blanks, you know? So if the dogs were out back hunting for lizards in the backyard, they were picking and flicking and flicking and picking, because that was Mom's sort of go-to fill in the blank. And ultimately, when she forgot who people were, they were that ding-dong over there. Now you can just hold it up and look at your screen and talk to me.
Oh, well, I got grunches on my hair now.
Oh, that's okay. I see the grunches on your hair. How you doing?
Okay, well, that's good. I didn't know anything else to do other than go picking and flicking and seeing if I can get somebody to pick and flick.
No, well, be careful with the picking and flicking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you talked to Jenny or the kids?
No, Everybody's so busy tooting, and flipping and flopping, so,
Yeah.
you know, we'll just figure it out.
I hear you have your music on.
There you go. Toot talker knocker. Yeah. I know. I don't know where my dog is.
You don't have one on your lap?
Well, no, all the other dogs are fine, but the one I've got now is getting funky and dunky. You know, she likes dunky, funky, dunky, something, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, you just do what you got to do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, so.
So, at the end of my mom's life, at the very end, the last few days, she had fallen, she had a head injury. She had lost track of everything at that point because she was in a semi-comatose state, drifting in and out of consciousness, and had a really vivid world going on inside her mind. She was interacting physically with it. So maybe not comatose. But even that ended, my sister, in the last couple of days of my mom's life, could still connect with my mom, could still reach into the recesses of where she was and pull her back out. With 2 words that meant nothing, but for the fact they were fun to say. My sister would lean into my mom's ear and say, "Pickle, pickle." And my mom, eyes still closed, would mouth voicelessly, "Pickle, pickle." And that's how we remained connected. Episode 1.
Turn the page. It's a new day in our story. In our story. Whoa, 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 whoa. In our story.